Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first public hearing for the residents of the village of Washingtonville. If we could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to turn off some more of the lights. What we're going to review, we'll have to keep one.
Yeah, keep one.
What we're going to review is the 2018-19 budget. What we did was consolidated a lot of the line items that were throughout the budget last year. For instance, we had telephone line items in every department. So what we did, like I said, we consolidated all of the numbers, okay? Not lowering the numbers, okay, but we had a large amount left at the end of the month. So this is how we look right now. We could start with Department of Public Works. Their budget item that's reflected in your handout is $548,705, which represents 12% of our budget right now. Parks, 6%. Community environment, 4%. Employee benefits, 18%, and the numbers are next to it. Debt service, 1%. The village hall, 5%. Shared services, and that's where a lot of the consolidation took place. And law enforcement at 42%. Yeah, thank you. As we go through the presentation, if you have any questions, we just ask that you hold them to the end. But we do have index cards as well as pens. If you want to write down your question, it's not important who's asking the question. What's important is the question itself. We will answer those questions throughout the week. Our website has been set up that we could post these questions with the answer. Something I picked up, I guess, from the school district. Okay? It works. All right? Rather than just give an answer off the hip, okay, we'll research whatever question comes up and give you the correct answer. Okay, Village Hall. Utilities, postage, justice training. Everything that happens in this building is in this graph right now. Village Hall security, the Orange County Post. Village Hall miscellaneous contractual, the treasurer, which is personal servants. Court prosecutors, we have 2 of them. Clerical personnel, $10,000. Court clerk overtime, $3,000. Court clerk herself, $43,571. Deputy justice, that's the, I believe, Mr. Turpin, correct?
Yes.
For when Justice Smith and Justice McKay are not available. We have the personnel service. Again, the 2 justices totaling $21,600. Village clerk personal services, $56,668. Mayor personnel service, $11,440. And the trustee personal, $26,400. That's down, and I tried to group the best I could of what was happening here last year. Well, if I was to take all of this information with the numbers, okay, last year it equaled 56% of what was happening here in Village Hall. We brought that down to 44%. Again, shared services. And here's the shared services. Everything that's happening in the A fund is within here. gas pump repairs, drug and alcohol testing, engineering, insurance, the liability insurances, computer software, the books, maintenance of buildings, internet services, gasoline, diesel, and oil for both the DPW as well as the police department. Payroll systems. What we did was we went to a company out of Dallas that handles time clocks. We went to, we start recording everybody's time. It then gets sent to a local accountant here in the village who will be printing the checks through Frank and Kate, but printing the checks through QuickBooks. Okay, it takes, because what was happening with that, the department heads were taking 2 hours a week, okay, to do the payroll, making sure everything was correct. The system that we had was not appropriate for the village. Christine was taking all day Thursday to do the payroll. So we removed her from that equation. The payroll will come in here, we'll go through the payroll, sign off on the payroll, and the checks will be issued and deposited automatically into their account of their choosing, one time, one account. What we found out through this process, that every time a check is automatically deposited, somebody might have a checking account, and then they have a savings account, and then they have a Christmas account, and then they have whatever other account. Well, they cost the village $5 every time that happened. So somebody, if they had four checks, we were told it would cost up to $20. Well, we have 40 employees. Okay, so each week, it was costing the village a lot more money than need be. And paid, well, it wasn't, I didn't want to go down that road, but paychecks was horrendous, okay? Something that I heard right off the bat, okay, not how are you, but what are you going to do with paychecks? The telephone system, the printing, village auditors, okay, $30,000. We had to pay back the auditors from 2 years ago out of last year's budget. And they're going to pretty much be taking it easy on us for this year. Membership conferences and dues and office supplies, which is, again, that was all throughout the village. So what we did, 2017-18, it totaled $860,000, 54% of the budget. We brought it down to 46%. Municipal services, okay? And not all line items are coming down, we're just separating it in a much, I think, much more convenient way of budgeting. Village Hall election, Blackboard Connect, that's the attention residents, there will be a run tomorrow morning, okay? Village Hall election and supplies. Really could go into, I see this now, I could tie it into Village Hall election custodian. Village Hall website, legal notices, actuarial services, legal sale of green areas. Legal moratorium, $35,000. We haven't touched it from last year, so it's still in there from last year to this year. Codification of laws, we had them in all areas, never deducted from it. Attorney services, $35,000. So in this case, we went up by $1,000. Special items, contingency payroll, contingent personnel expense, contingent expense, and general government MTA tax. Contingent personnel expense and contingent expense can be combined together. We went up a little bit on the contingent payroll. So last year it was at 49%, this year it's at 51%. Law enforcement. Pretty hard to read this one because there's a lot happening in here. But we have a police department that's probably the best in Orange County. And we have to make sure that they're properly supplied, okay? So we're going to do whatever we need to do to make sure, I have to make sure that everyone who works for this village goes home at night, okay? So this is something that, it looks like a lot, okay? But what's the cost of it, okay? So we have, last year was at 1.7 million, right now it's at 1.9 million, okay? We hired 2 more police officers, okay, full-time, which is going to bring down overtime. We're going to be able to respond more quickly. I was telling someone today, you know, I was asked, well, response time. We'll call your plumber to see how soon they get there. They won't even come to your house if you have a leak. All right? These guys are good. Okay? Thank you, Chief. Speed sensors, that's something that came in this year's budget. Speed sensors are, Ricky, you want to?
Yeah, there's different types available out there. The one we're going to be getting are pole mounted, and basically there are radar units that display the speed that you're traveling at and warning you if you're going too fast. And they do traffic counts. As well
Are you okay?
We're going to put it right by your house.
What's not on here is the license plate reader also. Okay, again, last year it was granted. There was a grant or
It was
The
from
forfeiture money from the drugs.
forfeiture money. Okay, that's making us money. Okay, so we're going to put them on another card. All right. Now you might want to. Maybe I should start with that.
And also new cars.
And also new cards, correct, thank you. Right now we have 2 on a lease. We're going to add 1 more this year on a lease with this current budget and 1 more for next year. On the leasing program, 3-year lease. At the end of the 3 years, I believe it's $1. You own it, or why do you want to own a car with 200,000 miles on it? So you can turn it back and start all over again. Public safety, okay? This is something new as far as what we've been doing here in the village. We have parking division equipment for $9,500. What we looked into was a parking system that would be installed at the old village hall, where you would come in, pay $5 a day. Really could be used for the high school students. $5 a day, I believe there's 50 spots over there. The weekends, yeah, there's no fee. You're just parking there, okay? Or if something else was going on in the village. For a $9,500, I want to call it investment, probably bring into the village about $30,000. Okay, so that's one way of making revenue. We'll see how that goes, and then maybe we'll go into where the municipal lot is behind the stores. Yeah, I think at one time it was said that parking meters deter people from shopping. Well, it's just the opposite. People are going to park, they put money into the meter, and they know that they have to move that car within a certain amount of time or they're going to get ticketed. Okay, it's not going to deter shopping, it's just going to make it more, they'll move their car, somebody else will park, instead of somebody just riding around forever saying there's no place to park, let me move on down the road. Okay. Code enforcement and inspection. This is a shared service that we work with Blooming Grove on. Okay, this is the amount of personal service to Blooming Grove, $40,000. Clothing allowance and building inspector dues. As you see, it's the same as last year. Department of Public Works. Utilities, street administration, rent snow equipment, that's in the air. Okay, I don't know if we need to rent, we'll get into that as we move forward. Supplies for snow removal, OSHA repairs. Again, removal equipment, snow removal personnel overtime. CHIPS, it's a program, it's highway improvement plan, I believe. I don't know the exact, I don't know what CHIPS actually means, but I know that we get money each year, and last year we used it, this year we did not use it. Parking lot seal coating, talking about the existing parking